with this, but look, I'm curious to understand what your understanding is so far and where you are right now with your agency and that sort of thing. So I don't essentially say things that you already know, for example. So maybe just give me a really high level overview of where you're at, what's going on.
100%. I'd love to hear where you're at as well. So I'll tell you where I'm at, and then if you have any comments, great. And then I'd love to hear where you're at, like around 20K a month, mainly focusing on recruiting. So I'd love to hear more about that. I'm sure I will. So right now, I got my first client off Upwork, right? Through Nick's community. He recommends Upwork. So I did Upwork, applied to a bunch of automation jobs, a bunch of, cold email jobs. Didn't really know what I was applying for, just getting myself into it. Then I got a instantly set up job for this professional speaker. He liked me. So we started working together. I charged $2,500 for the setup. And then since it was my first client, I just wanted to get experience. So I basically agreed to 5% revenue share, and his average deal size is 15K. So that would be like $750 per deal. But yeah, so I started working with him. We built a relationship, but that's a bit of a confusing situation because he wants to do it exactly how he wants to do it. He doesn't really want much input. You know what I mean? He's like, use my copy, do exactly basically what I say, just basically send for me. So it's kind of like frustrating for both of us because he's like, you know what I mean? So I was just texting him because he's not getting much traction with his copy right now and with his leads. So he's kind of like, hey, Zach, what's going on? But I'm like, it's your copy. I'm just sending for you. But anyway, I was gonna send him a text right now saying like, happy to draft some copy and test like a different way of going about it. But we haven't really got. I was getting him results prior. But then since he's been really like telling me exactly what he wants, he hasn't really been getting any results.
Okay.
And I'm not getting paid obviously for my effort either. So, and then about a month ago, I closed this new client, and this new client is basically like technical marketing services. What that means is they do like technical site assessments, SEO, things like that. It's this one woman, and she has a team of like 5 to 8 people, and she's the main salesperson, main owner. But she's really good at retaining clients. So she said she was only getting referrals, like 1 to 4 a month, 1 to 5 a month. So I said to her, like, I can, and those aren't even closed deals. Referrals, those are just conversations. So I basically said, hey, with cold email, I'm very confident I can at least get you like 4 positive replies, in a month. And then you can have some more conversations, then we can build on that and scale. She was really into that. So I ended up closing her for $2,500 a month for 3 months. She was quite happy with her. But she's very hands off. She's like, hey, I just want this. I just want you to get me leads, essentially. Just get me positive replies. I'll respond to them. I'll sell them. So I started running for her last Tuesday. I got her a meeting on Wednesday, but then the past Thursday, Friday, this week, I haven't got any more positive replies. So trying to improve there, but but now it's really, the equation for this business is really get clients, or any business is get clients, fulfill for them. And that's the business, right? Get clients, fulfill for them. And then within that, you have marketing, sales, you have fulfillment, onboarding, fulfillment, retention. My biggest trouble right now is just fulfillment, and not necessarily retention, but fulfillment. I could do the marketing. My own cold email, I get tons of responses because I know how to craft my own offer. How to get people interested, and I know how to get on the call with them and then convert the offer into a sales pitch and then sell them on my lead generation service. So that, like, the marketing and sales, pretty easy for me. Onboarding, I figure that out. But the fulfillment, actually getting results for these clients is like the tough. So that's why like I've slowed down marketing and sales. I don't really send much of my own cold emails anymore, even though I'm paying for instantly and everything, just because I don't have like the bandwidth to actually fulfill for all of them. You know, if I could like fulfill for a bunch more clients, I'd go ham and just like send tons of campaigns for myself, hop on tons of sales calls. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm at. You know, I have those two clients. One client, not a great client. Someone else told me you should just like drop him as a client. You're not even getting paid, and you know whatever. And then the other client's quite good, so want to do $2,500 a month. It's not bad. Yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Okay, cool. So just to recycle what you said there, just so I'm making sure I understand properly. You've got one client you signed from Upwork, which was an instantly setup of $2,500, and then you're on a 5% revenue share with that guy. The other one is a tech marketing service at $2,500 a month. You've been with them now for about a week and a half, and you have a 3-month contract with those guys. Yep. Are they the two clients in the business right now?
Yeah.
Is there any more?
No.
Okay, cool. And yeah, from what you've said, marketing, sales, not a problem. Onboarding, you'll figure that out. But it's the actual fulfillment of the delivery, the service delivery right now that's a big issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like getting people results, you know? Like I can send campaigns, I can scrape leads, but like actually getting results, getting the positive replies.
Okay, so it's actually generating the results for your client. So look, straight away, obviously we can dive into this in way more detail, but for client one, the reason you're not getting results there is because you're letting that guy be hands-on with this. He's hired you because you're the expert. So you need to make sure that you have full authority on everything. That includes all of the messaging, because I mean, if he wants to, if he knew what he was doing, he wouldn't hire you. So he has no right to have hands-on authority with the copy. So for that one, you need to make sure that you get that authority off him to be able to change the copy, and then going forward, never let the client dictate the copy as well. Okay. But yeah, look, let me just give you some context about myself as well before we do just go into this down the rabbit hole. And
yeah, sounds good. Right. Sounds good.
Myself, I started out in this game about 15 months ago. I was doing. I never even went down the Upwork route. I went straight to cold email, and then I found that I was generating so much interest from cold email. I was like, I'm just going to sell this exact system that I'm doing, copy and paste. Yeah. So that's what I did, and it sounds like similar to what you're doing, really. I started out broad B2B, so no real niche. And then off the back of watching a lot of Sard's content, are you familiar with Sard?
No.
Okay, so he's like a guy from Nick's community, he has his own community. He was kind of touting that recruitment's the way to go. So I specialized down with those guys. I've been now in that space for about a year. And yeah, we're doing between 15 and 20K a month on a pretty consistent basis now over the past sort of 4 or 5 months. And now, yeah, just really looking at scaling. Most of my clients are on 3K a month retainers.
Very nice.
And then we had another offer, which is a downsell, which we'll get into for you as well. So we have the done for you approach, 3K a month retainer, but then the done with you is more of a coaching program, which is a one-time fee of about 2K, well, no, $3K. And then they pay for all the softwares, and then we kind of coach them. And it's a downsell from the clients who can't afford 3K a month, essentially. Yep. So that's something that we'll look at as well, because certain clients won't have the budget for $2.5K a month for your cold email services. So to make sure that you're tapping into all of the market, have that downsell as well. Okay. But that's really the context about myself. Is that clear? Is anything else that you're curious about? Or?
No, that's awesome. I love to hear that. Do you have any partners? Is it just you?
So I've got a VA who does all my content.
Oh, nice.
And a VA who does all of my technicality, backend, NA10 builds, that sort of thing. So yeah, there's 3 of us. These guys are VAs, so super cheap. And and super scalable. So yeah,
But like
that's where I'm.
£400 a month or something.
So the content guy is $200 a month. He does all of my LinkedIn content. The VA is like $400 a month, and he does whenever I need anything. I go straight to him, build this for me. It's done in a couple of days. It's crazy. So
What, a guy in India or something?
yeah. So the content guys in Bangladesh. Content in Bangladesh. Automations in India. Yeah.
Wow. And you just call them a VA, but realistically, they're not a VA because they have like specialized skills, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, VA is their virtual assistants, but these guys are better than me at the automation side of things and things like that.
You found them on
Upwork? No. So one of the guys I found through LinkedIn, but the other guy was through Upwork. Yeah, I did a post, and yeah, just got him through there.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, man, for sure.
That's very sweet. No, that's why I'm on the call with you. I'd love to get some knowledge from you so I can work towards getting to the position you're at where I'm making the 15, 20K. Because you can see it even though I'm in the beginning of my journey, you can see it. If you just stack clients and you actually provide value, they're gonna keep paying you every single month because you're actually because you're generating these leads that they have trouble generating for themselves. I mean, this woman right now, my second client, she'll pay me the 2,500 forever as long as I keep generating leads. You know what I mean?
100%. So you don't have a niche right now. You've got a couple of clients in different niches.
Yep.
Do you plan on niching down, or are you quite happy going broad B2B at the moment?
I mean, that's the thing is like, I think that's the tough part is you have to figure out what kind of copy works for the different niches. But if you focus on one niche and you have one template or something, or several different templates for that one niche, you can kind of repeat and reuse, you know what I mean? So if that's what you found in recruiting, maybe not, maybe I'm wrong, but that's what it seems like.
Yeah, I think in terms of making it easier for yourself, I would niche down. For your next email campaign, get a big broad list and see what you actually like. What is your background in, for example? Like, what do you, before doing all of this stuff, like what would your professional background be?
Oh, I sold loans, so financial services.
Okay. Would you niche down in that then, for example?
Into loans?
Maybe accounting practices, financial services, or maybe even fintech. Actually, fintech could be a good one, because the reason I say to niche down is, one, it makes it easier for yourself on the fulfillment front, because you don't have to, when you get a new client, you don't have to figure out, oh, what on earth am I going to write to their prospects? Because, for example, when I get a new client, I know exactly what templates work. I know what doesn't work. And I don't have to figure it out like you do when you bring on a client you've never had before. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think that will help with figuring out what to say. So I would. I mean, we don't have to figure that out right now, but I would definitely niche down going forward. But yeah, fulfillment and results. So do you want to share your screen with me and show me what you've got going on?
Yeah, no problem.
With the copy and that sort of thing.
For sure. Do you want to see mine, or do you want to see, like, these are the two clients right here, 1, 2, and then this is my company.
Okay. Which one do you care about the most?
Right now, I care about this one the most.
Okay, let's look at that one first.
Okay. So yeah, that's something that I wanted to go over is actually structuring sending. Like when you have their infrastructure all built, everything's ready to go, right? And you're like, all right, I'm ready to start sending for this client. It's like week 1, do I just schedule one campaign on Monday with 2,500 leads, let it run throughout the week, And then do I schedule another campaign the next Monday? You know, like the sending schedule, that's something I don't really have. I kind of just like wing it right now, which is definitely not good. Like I don't have a particular layout for how I actually go about it. So this first campaign I sent on Tuesday, just loaded 1,000 leads, sent to their ideal customer profile, which is head of marketing at companies making like 1 million to 10 million a year, with small marketing teams. I wrote the copy. She just kind of like went over it with me. I was like, hey, here's the copy that I wrote. You know, let me know what you think. And this was the copy that actually got a positive reply. And these were the analytics. But then it sent the 1,000. It sent the 1,000. So then I was like, all right, I might as well send another one like 2 days later. So I sent another one 2 days later with different copy. And then this one just had like no traction at all, as you can see. And then this week I just sent one, but again, no traction. But you could see. You can see here, this was like the positive reply first day. So she was happy about that because she was like, oh, first day running, got a positive reply, got like a meeting booked. And then I haven't really had any traction since. Because I just, you know, I don't know the best way of actually running this. I know how to sell people, but to actually run this back end, that's what I'm kind of like figuring out as I go. And that's why I want to get better at it, because I don't want to keep figuring it out as I go, as people are paying me to get results for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So those reply rates are very low, which indicates to me that there might even be an infrastructure problem with this. So with outbound, you have a few different things. You have the infrastructure, which is the inboxes and the domains. You have the data that you're using to actually send to, so your lead lists. You have the offer, the copy, and then your follow-up process, and then also it's basically speed to lead, how quickly you reply to a positive reply. So let's start right at the start, which would be your infrastructure. Let's just double check that. So if you click on the mailboxes on the left-hand side.
Well, let me just tell you how I've been doing it first, and then I'll click into the mailboxes. How I've been doing is like the simplest approach. I just basically, when I onboarded this past client, I basically gave them instructions: go into instantly, subscribe to the hypergrowth plan, and then after you input your billing information, after this call, I'll go in and I'll buy mailboxes, essentially for you on your card. And then I just buy like done for you mailboxes on instantly.
Okay.
And then I'll buy, you know, like 10 domains on instantly, 3 mailboxes per domain, and then just wait for them to warm up. And this particular client, I told them, like, I'll start sending for you. So I personally, out of the 2,500, I personally paid like 300 pre-warm mailboxes. And then I was just gonna cancel them when her mailbox is warmed up. But yeah, so that's basically what my process was, which is definitely not the best process. Some people have told me to use Zapmail. Some people have told me, Zapmail, Scaled Mail from Microsoft, and then like GoDaddy for the domains and everything like that.
Okay, so you straight away bought the pre-warm to get the sending going straight away, and then you transition to the ones, right?
Yeah, and then I was gonna transition to these ones, which are the done for you. But Harry, I'm open to anything and everything. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just telling you what I'm doing, and obviously some things I'm doing are wrong. So I'd love to hear any and all of your advice.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I wanted to just start from like the very beginning and work our way up, and we'll get to
Yeah.
the copy and all that stuff. So how many mailboxes? Sorry, how many domains and how many mailboxes per domain are you going for? Did you say?
Well, these pre-warmed ones, they don't let you choose. So I think this was like, I think they do 5. I think they give you 5 domains and then 5 mailboxes per domain, and I know that's kind of a lot. And then for the done for you ones, you get to choose. So I just did 10 domains and then 3 mailboxes per domain.
Okay, so the basically the limit right now for emails per domain is roughly 50. So that means, well, for me anyway, I go for 2 mailboxes per 1 domain, and each mailbox sends maximum of 25 emails per day, which is obviously 50 per domain. And now if you're sending 30 emails and you have 3 mailboxes per domain, that's 90 per domain. So you're nearly double what I would say is recommended.
Yep.
So I think straight away you need to reduce this sending limit per mailbox to maybe 20 in this case, if you have 3 per domain. But to make, basically to keep it as cost efficient for you when setting it up, go 2 to 1. So 2 mailboxes per 1 domain is what I would say going forward. But for now, it's fine. Just reduce the limit here from 30 down to 20, I would say.
Well, like,
yeah, so just select all in the top left, and you can edit all of these at once.
And then you just
daily campaign limit, if you set that to 20. Minimum wait time. Let's just do the whole setup of the mailbox. The minimum wait time, go for 9 minutes. And then, well, actually, so the way you structure the campaigns, do you send all of these mailboxes I can see here right now? Are they all sending ones? You're sending from all of these?
Yeah.
Okay. What you should do is have well, I say, for example, if I'm sending from, I have 40 mailboxes, 5 of my mailboxes will be in reserve, and they will be the substitute mailboxes, if you like. So let's set that up for you now. So if you actually just come off this tab on the right hand side, so you can see the mailboxes again. Now, if you click where it says health score, so we can see what the weakest ones are currently. If you click it a couple of times, just so it filters by lowest to, okay, looks like they're all on 100%, so it doesn't matter. So let's just click the top 5. Is it 40 you have in here right now, did you say?
I think it's 50 plus. Well, it's plus the ones that are the pre-warmed. You know what I mean? So we can filter those. You know, so what, I have 20 pre-warmed. And then if we go to the done for you, oh, no, I guess not.
So realistically, you're sending from 50 mailboxes right now?
No, realistically, I'm sending from 20 right now, and then I have 30 that are warming up.
Okay, let's focus on the ones that are sending right now then, just so then you can basically copy and paste this when those are ready to send the actual ones. So what you should do is always grab the weakest ones. So if you've got 20 here, I would say let's just go for 3. Let's go for 3 mailboxes here. So select 3.
Oh, just okay.
Yeah, and then if you click the tag accounts, create a tag, and name this one substitutes. What we're doing here essentially is we're going to be tagging substitute accounts and active accounts. The subs will be constantly warming up in the background, sending no campaign emails. The active ones will only be sending campaign emails. The reason for this is on a weekly basis, you will rotate these. Okay.
Okay.
So if you click create, that's fine. And now if you just click tag again and just tag those with that sub tag. Yeah. And now if you select the rest of them, so all of the other pre-warmed accounts that don't have a tag currently,
Select all.
Yeah, and then tag again, and then name this one active. Cool. And then if you just tag that again and make sure they all have that tag attached. Okay, nice.
Oh.
Now,
these ones just gotta hold on.
Yeah, just remove it from the sub ones. It looks like it's added it to them for some reason.
All right. There we go.
Cool. So now if you select where it says pre-warmed accounts in the top, so you can filter for, let's go for subs. So if you only show the subs accounts.
All right.
Now what you should do, select all of these.
Okay.
And bulk edit these, so top right. And what we're going to do here is the specific settings for substitute accounts. Okay, so sending limit, let's leave that at 20. The minimum wait time, 9 minutes. The daily inbox placement, just put that at 0 for now because we're not running a placement, so we don't need that. And then if you keep going down, what you need to do here is you increase by 2 per day, and the daily warm-up limit will be 22. The reply rate here, if you select that at 45%, and if you show the advanced settings, what we want to do is we want to turn on read emulation. We want to put the open rate to between 95 and 100%. It doesn't really matter what the figure is, just as long as it's high within that region. I think it's good to just literally just randomize it within that region realistically. Spam protection, same again, 95 to 100%. Yeah, 98, 99 is good. And then mark important with these ones, you want to do that between 0 and 5%. And then if you save that, so those sub accounts, they're not going to be sending, they're just going to be warming up and sending up to 22 warm-ups a day. Okay. So if you click the subs now, and let's filter and grab the active campaigns, active mailboxes, sorry. Select all of these. Okay, and then same thing again, 20 campaign, minimum wait time, 9 minutes. 0 placement tests.
You don't do the slow ramp?
No, if these have already been warming up for a while, I mean, they're pre-warmed, so no, you wouldn't do that. You don't need to do that.
Gotcha.
Increase per day. So with this one, you disable the slow warm up.
You disabled slow warm up?
Yeah, you see that little checkbox where it says disable slow.
Gotcha.
And then the daily warm up limit here will be 2. So they'll be sending 2 warm ups and 20 campaign emails. Reply rate, this one 65%. Advanced settings, same as before. Read emulation on, open rate 95 to 100, spam protection 95 to 100. And then marks important, same thing again, 0 to 5. Yeah, cool. Okay, so basically on a weekly basis, or when you notice that some of the active accounts are tanking in deliverability or health, that's when you would quickly substitute them around and then just change over the settings again to make sure that your infrastructure is healthy. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. So,
okay, cool.
So yeah, if you see the health scores going down at all, then you just sub them out to the sub accounts versus the active.
Yeah, definitely. So anything below 98, 97%, you need to get that out as quickly as you can. And when you do change it over, remember, so say for example, you put an active mailbox and change it to a sub mailbox, you need to make sure that you do what we just did then again for that mailbox to make sure that the new warm-up sending pattern is applied to the active inbox that you've just made a sub. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay. I got you.
Cool. So now if you go to the campaign that you're running right now,
When can I use it? No, I can't.
And then options. You want to just delete all of those accounts to use that you have in there currently. While you do that, I'm just going to grab my pen that I can use. And then when you've done that, select active. You see the active tag in there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, cool. Okay, yeah, while we're here, let's do the campaign stats as well. So active accounts to use, delivery optimization, you want to tick both of those for sure. And then the daily limit doesn't really matter. I mean, your daily limit is going to be 400 currently, so 600 is fine. That just means you'll be maxing out your sending, which is good. And then if you show the advanced options here, what we want is the time gap between the emails at least 9 minutes. So 9 is the minimum that you want now. And then the random time, 3 is fine. I normally go between 3 and 7, so three's cool.
So I'll just 4.
Okay, cool. And then for me, I never ever turn on this auto optimize AZ testing because I find it tries to pick a winner too quickly, and then you don't get a full comprehensive test if you're split testing. So I always leave that empty. So don't do that. Provider matching, you want to always turn that on. So that means Google sends to Google, Microsoft sends to Microsoft. The ESP routing, if you add a custom rule, and then where it says all, click the X and select that to Google. Same thing again on the right-hand side, click the X and say Google.
So this means that I can't send to Microsoft mailboxes essentially because I don't have any.
Okay, so what you can do then is what I do is add another rule, and then do Google send to all. So select Google there, and then add another rule, and then the next one here is Microsoft and Microsoft. So basically, Google can send to both, but Microsoft only ever can send to Microsoft. And I know you don't have Microsoft inboxes, but I thought it's worth showing you because eventually you probably will get some.
Gotcha. And that's where you would get them on like scaled mail?
So for me, I use premium inboxes for my Google inboxes, and then a provider called Upscale for my Microsoft ones, and I can send you their details as well, just to make sure you have those. Let me just figure this out quickly.
No. You can send me this Fathom note taker after, right?
Yeah. You can have access to this recording as well.
Sweet.
Okay, so if you scroll down on the campaign, yeah, looks all good. You just leave that stuff alone, and then click on save. Cool. So that right there is what you want to do for every campaign. Those exact stats that you have here, basically.
Gotcha.
Now, a schedule. This is a US client, right? So just make sure you're sending in US times. Yeah, that looks good.
Typically, I would do like 9 to 6 or 9 to 6:30 or something.
Yeah, with the sending time, it's one of those things where there's probably a lot of theories about what works and what doesn't, but I really don't think it matters that much, to be honest with you. I just think Because what we're doing is we have a space between each email, and there's a randomized time that's added on as well. So it's going to be sent at a random time anyway. So I don't think it matters too much there. So yeah, just run with that. Give some other times a go. Give it a test and see what happens. But yeah, this is not that important at all.
Gotcha.
Okay, so we've got the mailboxes. We have the campaign schedule. Another thing, while we're just on the basics here, is have you heard of MX Toolbox before?
No.
Okay, so MX Toolbox is a website where you can check your DNS records on your mailboxes and your domains. So if you ever do see one tanking, it's worth going over to MX Toolbox, searching in that domain, and just double checking everything checks out on there as well.
Gotcha.
Okay. So yeah, if you go back to the mailboxes now, what I would advise when you do bring on your next client is don't go for pre-warmed. Always go ahead because obviously these domains here are not the domains of your client's domain, and it doesn't matter too much, but I just think personally it makes more sense and looks more professional when an outbound email comes from their domain.
Or a subset of their domain.
Right? Yeah, exactly. A subset of the domain. So your next client, what you should do is tell them that when you sign on, it's going to be 2.5 to 3 weeks before we can actually start sending emails. In that period of time, you would then go ahead and buy subdomains of their main domain on Namecheap, is what I use. And then you would go ahead and use something like Zapmail or one of the providers to get the mailboxes, right? So
do you get the done for you ones on the Zapmail or premium?
Yeah, all the providers, they do all of the DNS and the profile pictures and all of that stuff for you. I would recommend premium inboxes. I've got the most experience with them, and they've always been rock solid for me. So for Google, go definitely premium inboxes, and they're, like you say, they're done for you. The reason why it's nice to have that 2.5, 3 weeks is you don't have to rush into things, and you can take your time to write the copy, to build the lists, to do all the things that go into the setup. With your approach right now, you're quite rushed into just whipping together a campaign and just hoping it works.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
100%. In that 2 to 3 weeks, are you? I mean, just because the question popped up, are you getting paid that $3,000 within the first 2 to 3 weeks, or no, because you're not sending and you're not generating them leads yet?
I don't work for free, Zach. Of course I'm getting paid.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. Any reasonable client who understands the value of what you're providing will be more than happy to pay you for that initial month, because they don't know how to do the setup, they don't know how to do this thing. So yeah, you would definitely get paid for the initial month.
Do you charge a setup fee or no? Just like $3,000 for the first 3 months, or $3,000 for 3 months?
Yeah, there's no setup fee. So the way it works is they'd sign on the contract, pay $3,000 straight away, and then the next payment would be a month exactly from that date. Right. So I mean, you could say the setup fee is the initial month one retainer, if you like.
Right. That's how I mean, I'm not doing. That's how I'm like doing it. But I was like, since I'm not generating them leads, does it make sense that I'm gonna pay, you know what I mean? But I guess, yeah, you answered my question.
Yeah. Do you offer refunds? What's your structure there with that?
Yeah, I mean, how I sold this client is, I see a lot of people in Maker School, and they're like, oh, my guarantee is, I guarantee I'll generate them 15 leads or 15 appointments a month, or I'll give them their money back. I'm like, that's the dumbest guarantee you could give. As a salesperson myself, like, that is the dumbest guarantee. Just because if you don't hit that number, even if you get them 14, technically they can get their money back. So just, build a relationship with the client. And then I say to them, look, in the first month or, the first month of sending, if we're not seeing any traction, if we're not getting you any positive replies, if you're not satisfied with, what we're doing for you, I'll give you your money back. No big deal, But, even if you get them, say, 5 meetings in the first month, that's like a big leg up from where they currently are. So they'll be happy and they're not going to want their money back. They're like, oh, let's continue this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. The guys that are offering 15 meetings a month, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
What I do, and maybe
Yep.
you could go with something similar, is
Mhm.
I offer 10. I guarantee 10 sales qualified leads per month. So SQLs, and the way I define an SQL is essentially a positive reply. So I guarantee 10 positive replies a month. The way that the refund structure works is my retainer is 3K a month, right? If I deliver 9 SQLs in 1 month, I refund them $300. If I deliver them 8, I refund 600. So it's a prorated refund. So I'm never in the red, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Did you explain that to them on the sales call? Yeah.
Yeah, I would explain that exactly to them. What I would say is when you're going through like what an SQL is, I would never describe an SQL as I just did to you, which was a positive reply. I would never say that because it doesn't sound as valuable as an SQL, right? So you'd always define it as an SQL, like someone who's expressed specific intent in your services, and they are a decision maker in your ICP, is how you would define it.
Gotcha.
Okay, so yeah, I think we've got the basics locked in terms of the infrastructure and the campaign sending. So from here, really, it's data, offer, and copywriting. So the next step is data. So where are you sourcing these leads?
Oh, wait, hold on. Before we get into that, the one thing we didn't cover in the infrastructure is someone else told me what they do is they find out their TAM, their target addressable market. Let's say there's 25,000 decision makers, which I know is there's 25,000.
Yeah.
They say they get enough inboxes where they can send to that entire TAM within 3 to 4 months. And then they just reverse calculate that number to determine how many inboxes they get. So that's kind of my question is how many inboxes do you get per client? How many domains do you get per client? I know you do the same niche. So you do recruiting, so you probably just get the same exact inboxes and amount of domains every time. But yeah, that's my question.
Yeah, great question. At any point that we're going through, like you did there, make sure that we stop and go back to what you need. So with to your question, for me and my clients, I always do 20 domains and 40 mailboxes, which is roughly 1,000 emails per day ish, give or take. And I think that is a very adequate amount. I mean, the calculation that you said there, where they reverse engineer the TAM, I don't think that you need to be doing that really, unless it really depends. If you're going for like maybe a SaaS client, you should get more inboxes. So maybe it does depend on your client's TAM really. So like a SaaS client, I would get probably 100 mailboxes, but I wouldn't really reverse engineer it on that. I would kind of just ballpark it. How many do you want to send a day? But I think 40 mailboxes a day, 40 mailboxes is a lot of emails. So like you've got 50 here. That's a good amount of sending, because do remember, the more mailboxes that you have, the more data that needs enriching, and the more frequently you're going to need to update these campaigns, because you're going to be burning through campaigns, and then that's going to be pretty hard to manage. So while it's good to have a huge volume play, if you're trying to do that for multiple clients, it's going to be pretty intense to deliver upon all of that for all of them.
Gotcha.
So yeah, for like 40 to 50, I would go with for you.
And how much does, with your setup, premium inboxes and do you split it between Google and Microsoft inboxes?
Yeah. So I always go 80% Google, 20% Microsoft. So
Really? Okay.
yeah. So it's roughly like 32 Google, 8 Microsoft.
Gotcha.
And
And
with
then you just keep 5 in reserve. So like you keep 1 Microsoft in reserve and then 4 Google in reserve.
so with that, I don't track whether it's Google or whether it's Microsoft. I only track whether it's an active or a sub, and I just let the ESP matching decide whether it's Google or Microsoft. So I don't know which one's a sub. It may be 5 of the Microsoft are subs. It really just depends on the health rather than the ESP of the mailbox.
Gotcha. Yeah, and how much does this setup cost for a client? Because that's something, I don't know if you do this. I'd love to know if you charge the client, or if you have the client sign up to the platforms on the onboarding call, and then you take over, and then you purchase everything, so they pay for usage, or if you pay for usage. But if they're paying for usage, they like to know, how much is this going to cost for usage? With my setup that I do, it's typically like $300 to $500, and I tell them up front. So how much does it cost for your setup?
Yeah. So my domain, so 40 domains is, you can always get really good deals on Namecheap. So you're probably looking at about $150 to $200 for 40 domains.
And that's
sorry,
annually?
20. Say again, sorry.
And that's annually, right? That's $200 one time for the year, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, one time. So $200 one time. And that's worst case. You can get it. I've got it before for like $100 when there's good deals on. But then the mailboxes, you're looking at roughly $120 a month.
That's it?
Yeah.
So a lot cheaper than Instantly then.
Way cheaper. These providers, like premium inboxes, for example, is $3.50 per inbox. My other provider, which is Upscale, is $2 per mailbox.
That's the Microsoft one, right? Wow.
Yeah. So these providers, they set it up all for you, just like Instantly do, but it's way cheaper. What are these guys paying? Are they like $5 a mailbox, right?
Yeah, something like that. And then the pre-warmed are 10.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Harry, I've just been like makeshifting my way, and if you can't tell, I've just been like sell, figure it out, and that's why I want to hop on a call with you, because I want to really get it figured out so I can sell more and actually really provide value to these clients.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I like that attitude though. It's better to sell than sit around trying to work everything out. But
Exactly.
yeah, going forward, set the domains up yourself so it's under their domain, and then mailboxes by provider, whether that's premium inboxes, Upscale, or Zapmail, whatever that is, they're going to be cheaper for you.
Gotcha.
And to answer your other question as well, on the retainer model, which one of your clients is on, I would always cover the infrastructure on the retainer.
Really?
Yeah. I think it adds higher perceived value because they have one subscription to you, and that's it. They don't have to worry about the other bits and bobs. But with my done with you offer, which is the one-time payment, they are responsible for the software subscriptions. And when you do that, always set them up with your affiliate links so you can claim a bit more revenue as well.
That's what you mean. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, you're getting $3K from a client to cover, the $200 one time, and then 120 per month. That's not
Nothing.
It's not bad at all.
It's nothing. Yeah, the margins on this stuff is crazy.
Yeah.
You should be looking to operate at like 70% margins. You're doing good. So that's with all of the list building infrastructure, the enrichment tools, all of that stuff. You're looking at 70% margins on this.
Well, that's why I like to get them to pay usage for everything, because then I'm running at like 95% margins. You know what I mean?
True. Yeah, you can go down that route, definitely. It just might make the sales process a bit harder, is what I'd say. But
yeah.
If you can close them and get them, obviously that's best case scenario. Go ahead and do that if they're happy to do that.
Harry, what was your profession before this?
Finance. I was I'm a finance grad, so I was in finance, and very different to this space for sure.
Yeah. What made you want to switch, and how old are you?
So I am 24.
Yep.
I graduated 2 years ago. I never even I didn't really go into the industry. I didn't want to be an accountant. I didn't like it. So I thought, just going to start a business like what you guys are all doing. Fell into this and just kept going crazy with it. It's not like it's kind of chose me in a way, you know.
Yeah, I got you. 100%. That's good stuff.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, if you can get them to cover the infrastructure, do it, man. Go crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Is there any other questions on this like setup, that sort of thing, while we're here?
I think that's good for right now. If I think of anything, then I'll let you know.
Cool. So we'll move forward then. So the next step really of this process is the data and the lists. So currently, where are you getting this from, and what are you using to do so?
I use my own LinkedIn Sales Navigator account, and then I use Vane, AnyMail Finder, Million Verifier, and then I've been having the clients pay for Vane and Million Verifier, and then I just use my own. Oh no, I've been having the clients pay for Vane and AnyMail Finder, and then I just pay for AnyMail Finder because AnyMail Finder is pretty cheap. So that's why I'm saying it's like 95% margins right now that I'm running at, because I only pay for my LinkedIn Sales Navigator account, and I use LinkedIn myself. So like I don't even put that as a cost for the business per client.
Yep.
And then I'm pretty much just paying Million Verifier for each client. You know what I mean? And that's like $37 per 10,000 leads.
Yeah, that's very good. With Sales Navigator, are you paying like LinkedIn rates right now? $100 bucks a lot?
Yeah, $100 exactly.
Okay. What I'll do is, after the call, I can just basically ping you over the guy that we use, and he's basically a guy in Bangladesh who resells enterprise licenses for like $20 a month. So you can have sales now for $20 a month. So I can sort you with that. Okay. So I'll just make a note to send that to you.
Yeah, sweet.
Okay. So then that's just kind of what I use for my like mass campaigns. We'd go with Vane as the scraper of sales nav, and then AnyMail Finder for me, I don't really like it, so I go with Lead Magic. If you're familiar with Lead Magic,
is it very similar?
I would always go with Lead Magic over AnyMail Finder, purely because it has some of the best find rates I've seen on the emails, the best data validation, but also it's not just an email finder. So if I share you my screen quickly.
Oh yeah, let me unshare. Hold on.
Wrong one.
There we go.
I just jump over here. Cool. You see the screen okay?
Yep.
So Lead Magic is not, like I say, not just a email finder. So we've got emails, we've got mobiles, email validation, mobile validation, personal email finder, so the Gmails, the Outlooks, email to B2B profile. So this is, if you have the email, you can find the LinkedIn profile. And then the reverse of that, Profile search. This is if you have the LinkedIn URL, like what you get from Vane, for example, you can enrich their whole profile. So Vane basically does this for you. But if you're ever getting data from like maybe Apify, Apollo, that route, you can use this to scrape the LinkedIn profile.
Gotcha.
You can then use a role finder, which this basically you say, here's the company and here's the role that I want to find. And it gives you the decision, like that role within that company gives you the LinkedIn profile, all that stuff. And then you can enrich company information as well. So jobs data and company finder. So
very similar to AnyMail finder. You're just saying it's slightly better.
Yeah. Same thing. It just has a few more functionalities for under one subscription, really. So I think
and like same price too, basically.
Yeah. So I go on this one, so like 20k credits, which is 20,000 emails a month, basically.
Gotcha.
Okay.
But you basically need one of those subscriptions for each client. Because each client you're sending, 1,000 a day. So that's like 20,000.
No, I don't. I only have that one subscription that I use for myself and all the clients.
How?
That I was going to get into that. That's the next point. So
okay.
What you need to do is, do you post on LinkedIn at all?
No, not right now.
Okay.
I'm just trying to figure out, like onboarding. I'm just trying to figure out this backend right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. But the reason I say that is the reason I can have one Lead Magic subscription for all of my clients and myself is I am on creator programs with loads of these different providers. So like Prospio, what's the other one? ICPs as well, if you've heard of ICPs. So
yeah.
What that basically means is every now and again I promote some of their stuff and they put me on massive packages. So I get like from Prospio 600,000 emails a year, ICPs 80k per month. So I never need to buy any sort of stuff like that. So I'd say maybe a bit down the line, start reaching out to these guys on LinkedIn saying, look, create a program, get me involved for sure. Okay.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that stack's fine. That what you're doing currently in terms of the data seems good. So realistically, if there's nothing else on that, it's all about this messaging that we need to get dialed in.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we need to do here is, do you want to share back your screen again, and I can take a look at what we've got going on there? Okay. So this is the account that's of interest right now. This is the one you want to get dialed in, right?
Yeah. This is the one that I really want to make sure I fulfill, because she's the $2,500 retainer. Like my other client, like I'd love to get him results, but I need to have a real conversation with him. Like I need to have some creative freedom here. I don't know if that's what he wants. He might just, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd figure out what I'm gonna do with that guy.
Yeah, okay. Let's focus on this retainer client first then.
Yeah.
So let's go into your live campaign here. This is the most recent one, right?
Yeah, I just sent it like yesterday.
Okay, so first of all, how did you? So obviously, there's two other campaigns that you've previously ran, right? That are paused currently.
Yeah.
So to craft a copy of this recent one, did you check all of the step analytics of the previous campaigns?
Not like in a way, but I checked the analytics, but I don't know really how to use that information to my benefit. You know what I mean? Like doing with these different campaigns is basically, I say in my deliverables, I say I'm going to write you 10 pieces of copy, and then I essentially just split test those 10 pieces of copy. You know what I mean?
Okay. So in the campaign at the bottom here, if you click into that one, is this is the initial campaign where you thought we've got them 10 pieces, let's split test it, right?
Yeah, let's just split test two of the 10 pieces.
Okay. So what you should do is when you launch the first campaign, you should basically have like 6 or 7 steps. Sorry, not steps. So it should be A, B, C, D, E, F, G in here.
Oh,
so you
really?
split test it all in the one campaign. Yeah.
So you put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like
Yeah.
8. Really? Wow.
To start with, when I'm
Okay.
trying to figure out what actually converts, I would have probably 6 or 7 in each step.
And then how many leads would you actually load into that first campaign? Because I loaded 1,000. If you want, because from what I understand, if you're in a split test, then it's going to basically split. Let's say you have 10 each of, let's say you have BC, then you're only going to send to 100 per test. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what you do is just put more leads in.
How many leads would you put in?
To start with here, I mean, if you're going for, let's say 6 or 7, I would put in like at least sort of 5K leads in an initial campaign. I would put.
Really?
Yeah,
So you put 6 or 7 A/B tests, and then you put like 5K leads.
Yeah.
And then how long would you let that run for?
Literally until it finishes. So if you're maxing out your sending, that would finish within maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks. Thing is with this, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to fall into the trap of thinking, oh shit, we've gone 1 day without a positive reply. You need to let the campaign evolve over, like, you don't want to be making changes any more than like once every 2 weeks, realistically.
Oh wow.
Yeah. This outbound, it's not. You don't want to be too emotional and responsive with it. You need to let the campaigns mature, so then you have sufficient data from those step analytics to then make a new campaign from that. So the next campaign after this first one would probably only have A and B, like this one you have here, and they will be the best performers from that one. And then what you do is you change the call to action of either of those, maybe the subject line, and then you just keep going and going and going and going until you find that copy that actually converts.
Right. Wow. I understand. This is extremely Harry, this is extremely helpful, because this is the whole part that I'm just guessing. Like I've just been guessing about this whole thing for a long time. And then would you schedule another one with like 6 or 7 if you need to test again, or if you had no hits?
If there was no hits, you would probably want to go again with new angles. You really need to find something that does convert. I think but the thing is that shouldn't happen, because realistically, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, they all need to be very different in terms of the actual offer that you're offering, and maybe even like the whole structure of the email needs to be different between each one. So you're going to get a good idea of which one does before. There will be a standout between them, like there just will be. So in most cases, you shouldn't need to have to do that 7-step one again. That's just the initial one to get an idea. And then you take maybe 1 or 2 or 3 of what does work, and then obviously keep refining that down. But yeah, worst case, do it again. But your copy should be distinctive enough that you have an idea that you don't need to.
Gotcha.
Okay. So yeah, that's how I go about doing the copy. It's literally purely from data. No, what I think's right, because what I think's right doesn't fucking matter. The data does. You do this, so your A, B, C, D, E, F is for step 1, 2, and 3. You do this for all of the steps. So you're split testing.
Really? You do it for all the steps?
Yeah.
All right. Wow. And then what kind of days do you set in between?
So this is pretty long, actually. I would always do 2 days here,
Okay.
and then the next one is either 2 or 3. So maybe go with 3.
Gotcha.
And then for me, it's all. I mean, I've started doing 4-step campaigns at the moment. I'm just giving them a go, but typically, it's always the 3-step campaigns like what you've got going on here. Wow, that's bright. Shit, I'm getting blinded. Yeah, cool. So yeah, is that clear on like how you actually get the copy moving forward?
Yeah, that's clear. You basically, the first one is just you're sending out 5K leads, testing 6 or 7, 8 pieces of copy that are very different. You just let it run through, don't get emotional, and then you just see the test, you see the data, see which ones perform best, and then you place the ones that perform best next to each other, and then you run another one. How many do you run in the next one? Like, let's say you pick out 2 to 3 that perform best. How many leads do you load into that one?
Same again.
5K?
5K. Yeah. You want to give it a good amount, because realistically, the more granular we're going, we still need to have the volume there. So 5K again.
5K again. And then this is just all based off their ICP, right?
Definitely.
You know how when you scrape with Vane, whatever it is, Apollo, Appify, it's not 100% match rate. Maybe it's at like 70% match rate, depending on what service you're using. So out of those 5K leads, do you try and filter them down further to make sure that your match rate is increased to like 100%? Or do you just like scrape, upload, run?
Yeah, so with that, so let's talk Vane, for example, because that's what you're using. So what you need to do there is scrape your list and then run it through. Are you using NA10 or Make?
Yeah, NAM.
So with that, all you need to do is just literally stick an industry filter in Claude prompt, put in the industry you're looking to target, and make it approve or reject the data from Vane. So you just literally filter it 1 step again.
And then let's say you get 3,500 leads, like 1,500 were not good. Then would you go ahead and scrape again so that you can reach that 5K?
Yeah. You want to make sure there's as close to 5K in the campaign, not necessarily just scraped. You need the leads in this campaign. So yeah, go ahead and do another scrape and make sure you're actually filling this campaign up. And what I'll say as well is with Vane, you know how they say there's a 2.5K limit? You don't need to actually do that. So like for me, I scrape sales nav search of like 15K sometimes on Vane, and it's fine. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Yeah, I mean, it says the limit is like, it has increased recently. So that's not really something that I've been worried about. The thing I have been worried about is, let's say I give it one URL and the URL contains 20,000 leads.
Yeah.
And I only scrape, let's say 5,000 leads from those 20,000. Let's say I want to scrape another 5,000. How do I ensure that it doesn't scrape that same 5,000 again, or these aren't repeats? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the way that you would do that is you would just segment them. So for example, scrape 1 is the decision makers you're targeting, 1 to 10 employees. The next one would be 20 to 50, and you just do it on the employee count of the company.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. Or you find a different metric to do it on if the employee count. Yeah, I gotcha.
You can do that on the job title, the location, anything that you can change between each one. That will obviously change the lead, so you won't be duplicating.
Gotcha.
And then also, just as a SOP as well, to help you out with this, make sure that your search it when you name the file within Vane, make sure you name it something like exactly what is contained in there. So the industry, the location, the headcount, the decision maker. So you know what that file contains, so you don't do it again.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. for sure.
So copywriting. Let's take a look at this. So is this the email one that I can see right now?
Yeah.
First name. Most teams I talk to.
Oh no, that's not the email one. That's email 2. Yeah, this is email 1.
Okay. I looked you up on LinkedIn. I'm reaching out because we do technical site assessments for marketing teams who want clarity. It's basically, here's what's fine. Does that even make sense? Like, just reading that here, it's basically, here's what's fine. Here's what's, I don't know, man. It seems.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can have criticism. That's completely fine.
Okay. Yeah, so I think we need to rework this, because I mean, if I'm reading this right now and I'm thinking like, what the fuck? I mean, your prospects might be doing similar. So
yeah.
Do you want to open up a Google Doc and paste all this into a Google Doc or something so we can work easier that way, maybe?
Here, what I can do is, let me show you. Give me a second.
We'll get this dialed in, man. We'll get this good.
Yeah, we'll get this dialed in for sure. Do you have like a recipe or some type of formula that you used to use for your different B2B? Because obviously once you found that recruiting, you worked with one recruiting company and you were getting them good results, and you're like, oh, I can repeat this for another recruiting company. You just use the same copy, or switch up a tiny bit, whatever it is. Do you have a formula essentially for crafting new copy for different industries, or not necessarily?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I've got a very well structured formula that we'll go through. It's literally, well, it's variable. So we've got personalization, offer, case study, risk reversal, call to action. They're the pillars of a cold email that we need to establish. So obviously, I don't understand your client's offer or risk reversal or whatever they offer too much, but obviously you do, so we can easily work on that.
Okay.
But yeah, that would be the formula.
What's your email?
My email is harry@refineflow.co. Are you gonna share me to a doc?
Yeah.
Cool.
Because this is how I did my 10 deliverables, and dude, like, I'm not saying I know how to write copy or anything. I'm just, like I said, I literally just sold, and then I've been winging it. Just like absolutely just winging it, figuring it out as I go.
I like that though. That's good.
I'd rather just, because selling is my strong suit, so I can sell, but the deliver, it's like, let me just fucking figure that out. Yeah, so this is how it looked for her. Like, this is a copy of the document. But basically, I said, hey, here are those 10 pieces of copy that I said I would write for you. Let's just walk through them and, tell me if anything's wrong.
Okay, cool.
Can you see it? Yeah, you can see this here.
Yeah,
I can stop sharing myself.
Yeah, you should stop sharing. I was just sharing it across so the recording can see it as well. So if you want to take a look, or for the future.
Yeah, let me go back. There we go.
Okay, so yeah, I'm in the doc. So we've got step 1, hi first name. I was looking at company's site and I noticed a few things that could quietly impact performance over time. Okay. We do short technical assessments for marketing teams and outline only what's worth fixing. No redesign, no fluff. Would you like me to send an example of what that looks like? Okay. I like that call to action. So I think that's something that can stay straight away. I don't think I have edit access on this doc.
Oh, that's my bad. Yeah, but all of this copy, literally just consulting ChatGPT and Claude. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
maybe
what
that's,
I'm gonna do as well is.
Oh no, I think you do it. I think you do have edit access.
No, I can't edit the
Really?
tab 1. I can edit. Oh no, no, I can't edit. That's strange. Let me refresh.
Yeah, wait. It says edit. I could switch you to a viewer and then try doing editor.
Oh wait, no, oh Jesus Christ. My keyboard was unplugged. Wow.
That's good.
Just give me 1 second, mate. I just need to nip to the toilet, if that's cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some coffee anyway. So.
Okay, nice one.
All right.
Oh, there you are. I'm back.
Sweet.
Okay. Cool. So first things first. Let me plug this fucking keyboard back in. You should see my desk right now. This is retarded. How many cables there is.
So you have. Hold on. So you have 5 clients paying you $3K for $15K a month, right?
Yeah.
How do you plan on scaling? And then you have one guy that's posting your LinkedIn content, so you can kind of get some inbound leads that way. And then you have one guy that's doing your NAN automations, which I don't quite understand. Why do you need NAN automations?
So essentially, some of my backend's still in make.com, so he's transferring that over.
Okay.
So you don't want to just be you don't want to be stagnant with your strategy. So you need to always be like innovating new methods and new ways to scrape data, new ways to launch campaigns. So when I have an idea, I'm like, make this for me, and he'll make it, and we'll launch a new campaign. So we're not just relying on, like, for example, with you right now, do you have any other ways of like launching a new campaign other than Vane at the moment?
Appify? You mean scraping data?
Yeah. So like,
yeah, Appify actors.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he does use all that stuff, but I just don't really have time to do it. I mean, you could easily do it, but when I want a new campaign with new actors, new data sources, so like, for example, if I say to him, scrape Crunchbase, we want funded data, he would go with that. Just because I'm like, literally, my day now is, I have about 3 hours in the morning of doing my LinkedIn DM outbound, and then I'm on sales calls like all afternoon. So I just don't have the time to do this stuff. But If I did, I would do it, and that's what I would say to you. Like, you can easily do it. I guess you're just quite skilled with an A10, right?
I'm all right. I'm all right. My biggest skill is just the sales. You know what I mean?
Mm. Yeah, that's the
Right.
thing. I've never been the best with it. I don't really like doing it either, to be honest with you. Like building all the all the shit on it, and I like just getting in front of people and selling.
I agree. I'm the same exact way. I'm the same exact way. I don't mind it, but yeah. So what's your plan for scaling then?
Just close more retainers, and increase prices and retain them. That's literally it. It's rinse and repeat and retain. That's literally it. That's how I'll get to 50k a month. The exact strategy I'm doing now, but I'll probably just put the prices up to 4k a month and then just retain and bring on more clients. That's it.
Do you think you can manage all that back end work of sending for them?
Yeah, definitely. I'll just get another VA in.
Just get another VA and say, hey, these 5 accounts, I'll give you admin access to them, and just go in and follow this process, kind of what you're showing me right now.
Yeah, exactly. So basically what I'm showing you right now and all of the things that I do when I bring on a new client, I'm slowly but surely building out a Notion portal of all of my exact SOPs, so I can hand this over to a VA and I can say, literally, do this, don't fuck it up, and we'll be fine. And that will be that's the plan to scale, really. Build the SOPs and then hire more. But yeah, I'm looking at hiring from South Africa actually, rather than like India now, because these guys, to be fair, their English is just a lot better and they're just easier to communicate with. So yeah, that answers your question, right? Just standardize and rinse and repeat, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I'm rinsing and repeating, but I don't even know what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm
now,
learning.
I mean, how long have you been doing this though?
Like instantly and sending campaigns and clients. I got that first client from Upwork in middle of November.
Okay.
And then, or like end of November. And then I started sending for him like around Christmas time.
Okay, so you're very early then. I mean, this retainer client, which is the level of clients that you need going forward, you've been working with her for like a month, right? Sorry, a week.
Yeah, but I've been talking to her for a month, like selling her and like, sending the contract proposal and everything. But I've been working with her for like a week and a half.
Okay, yeah, I think that makes sense. Just a bit of a longer sales cycle. Yeah, I mean, you're very early in this, right? I mean, from what you're doing now, I've been doing this for like 15 months. For exactly what you're doing.
Like from getting your first client and actually like trying to service them.
So when was my first ever client? My first ever client was March 2025. So actually, like a year of actually servicing clients. Beforehand, because I mean, I don't know about you, but like I said, I came from accounting and like a finance background, so I had no idea about any of these automations. So I spent like a few months like learning Make and all that kind of bullshit. I should have just jumped in like what you've done and just gone to the selling, but I waited a bit too long. So from sort of I want to say about September, November to March was when I was like tinkering around and trying to figure out what was working. March, so first client. So yeah, just under a year basically, and yeah, 20k a month ish now.
It's fucking legit, dude. I love that.
You can do the same.
I mean, that's the goal. That's why I'm on this call with you. That's the goal for sure. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about Nick and his community is, although he preaches so much about automation and he preaches N8N and Make.com and all this different stuff, he preaches Upwork. When you actually go through some of his modules and you notice how he built his business, it's by selling lead generation cold email systems and selling retainers. Like he doesn't advertise that like, hey, this is what I did to make the money. He kind of like behind the scenes, like, hey, this is kind of what I did, but look at all these automations. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he does. He does. He brings in the nerds, right? It's like a they love it. But yeah, I definitely agree. He's a good guy and he's taught us a lot. But yeah, I definitely think that the actual money is in the lead generation side of things, which is I like you. I sniffed that out very quickly, and I was like, I'm not even going to go down this Upwork route. I'm just going to go lead generation. That's what I want.
No, exactly. I mean, I just hopped into the sales because that's where I came from. You know, you said you came from the finance. I just graduated from college, university, and then went right into sales, and then just started selling. I've been like the most hardcore selling for the past like 2.5, 3 years, just on the phone, 500 calls a day. So sales is like a breeze for me. I don't give a damn, you know. But now it's really about like refining my skills so that I can make sure that when I do sell someone, they get the results.
Yeah, definitely. By the way, I've just made myself aware. If you see me looking this way, I'm looking at you. It's just your docs on my screen here, and I'm checking you over here. Okay. Just
No,
don't think
don't even worry. I'm used to that. Just for your clients though, when you're hopping on sales calls, you might want to adjust that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, sweet.
Okay. Let's stuck in to your copy here and get this cranking. So what I've done is opened up tab 2, so I'm chilling in here. So we have your initial, and then we'll edit tab 2. Okay. So what do we want? We want a hi first name. I typically always go with a I mean, it doesn't look like you've got any personalization in here. Do you not like doing that, or what was the reason for that?
I've experimented. I mean, I guess in the last 3 months, because the month before that I was setting for myself. But I've been experimenting with different personalization and things like that, like icebreakers. But I find like most of the time it comes out very AI, and you know, like I'll run several different N8N sequences and like adapt the prompt like 10 times, and even on the 10th time it looks a little better, but then only like 2 out of 10 things like actually look good. You know, the other 8 are still like AI looking. So I'm like, is it worth it or is it not worth it, you know?
Yeah, I think it's worth it. But what I'll do is show you. I'll show you now, but then after this call, I'll also just send you the prompt, so you can just use the prompt, and you don't have to worry about trying to figure that out. But if I just jump in, you can still see my screen, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. So I'll show you my workspace quickly. So these are like my recent
campaigns. That's pretty right there.
Yeah. So the thing is with this, you're going to be like, that copy just seems too simple. How does that work? But this is what happens when you've done all of the initial testing and the refinement all the way to this. This is what you'll get to. So where are we? This is literally it. Hi, first name. Congrats. If I got you 3 new jobs on next month with dream client. Shit.
No.
Without you doing a thing on the client side, would this be worth a chat? Kind regards, Harry. So in reality, congrats on launching the podcast. If I got you 3 new jobs on next month with Series B SaaS companies, without you doing a thing on the client side, would this be worth a chat? That's it. So a variable that works, how I found it to work incredibly well, is this dream client variable. So I'm going to say that we should definitely be using this somewhere within your copy. What this basically is AI is going to analyze their business and output who their dream client would be. It's super straightforward. Okay. And then this is obviously recruitment specific, but you can see how just short and punchy the follow-ups are. So following up on the dream client opportunity, still curious if it's useful for you at the moment.
Is dream client within your lead spreadsheet? Like, do you have a field that says dream client or no?
No. So the way that works,
okay,
is I'll show you like the enrichment flow that I use. So this one here, this is the vein flow. So what you're doing.
Gee.
So we're obviously just getting the rows in the sheet, looping them, classifying the industry. And then here, if the email does not exist, so in most cases it comes down here. So Prospero find the email, and then Claude does some enrichment. And this is waterfall enrichment. So if Prospero doesn't find the email, then we go to ICPs, and then we go to Lead Magic if that can't find it. So we have 3 data providers on the email, but the most important bit here is the Claude section. So what happens here is we will pump in all of that information from the Google Sheet on the company and the prospect, for example. And then the prompt that we're using is just up in here quick. So what we're doing is we're generating the congrats line, the dream client, the job role, and the clean company name.
Yep.
And then it's just a simple prompt explaining what it needs to do and how to do it. And then this is all obviously added into
your Google Sheet with the field, right?
So no, I just add it directly to instantly. I don't add it to a Google Sheet.
How do you add it directly to instantly?
Like that.
Like that? Oh, okay. I see.
Custom variables. So you got the congrats job role as the custom variables. So yeah, you can just do it that way. Then you'd have to piss around with like downloading sheets and all that stuff. And then obviously it just gets added here with the variables there for you, just as you do with the CSV, but you can just do it with API.
Oh wow. Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like I say, I'll send you the prompt so you have that, so you can basically use that and probably dump it in AI and get it to repurpose it to get what you're looking for. But yeah, let me jump back. Where were we? Okay. So your client, sorry, was there anything about that though before we dive back into your copy?
None, not that I can think of right now. I mean, that's pretty complex, but I do understand what you're doing there. You know, I definitely understand. It's basically, instead of you manually taking it back and forth and verifying, the NA10 instance is just doing it for you and then inputting it into instantly.
Yeah. So for example, right now, I'm assuming you're downloading off Vein, uploading that to AnyMail Finder, re-downloading that, and then what happens?
Then putting it into Google Sheet, kind of like organizing it. Then if I want to personalize, then I'll set it in N8N, then set N8N's settings, and then we'll go ahead and do it for like, an hour or two. And then I'll get my field that says personalization or whatever, or, approved, not approved. And then after that, I'll take that sheet and then upload it to instantly.
Okay. So you definitely need to fix that as soon as you can, because if you when you bring on more clients, imagine trying to do that for 5 clients. How ridiculous! Yeah, right. That would be just bonkers.
Yeah.
So basically, you can adopt the exact flow like this. The only thing you would change is realistically, you're only using AnyMail Finder 1,000,000 verifier. So down here, you would simply just call AnyMail Finder's API, get it to validate the email, and then double check it with 1,000,000 verifier, then send it to Claude, then send it to instantly. So, I mean, after this call, that should be a pretty top priority to get that system built for, I would say.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. Okay, so what is this client's website?
Very dash interesting.
Dairy, did you say?
No, Berry. 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 Like a strawberry.
Oh, my bad.
You're okay.
Very interesting.
That's it. The top
This
one.
one.
Yeah.
Let me just clean up these tabs. It's making me fucking.
I don't know how you guys are over there, but she's definitely a they them.
A Dave M.
You don't have those. You definitely have those. You're
What's a
liberal
Dave M?
there. You guys are liberal as hell. It's
Oh,
a they
okay.
them.
Oh, shit. This is her, right?
That's the owner. I mean, she's cool. She's cool. Don't get me wrong. She doesn't have the blue hair anymore, but
Okay. So, what is her offer again? SEO.
she's a good salesperson, but she's not good at marketing at all. Like, her.
This website's horrible to look at. Like,
I know. Trust me. The whole thing is essentially what they do is they offer a range of solutions, but what their whole thing is, they're technical support partners for your website, specifically WordPress. They do SEO, they do technical site assessments like site speed. She just like hired some woman that does automations now in make.com. Like,
okay.
she's got a whole range of things, but her whole thing is like she's a great salesperson. She's had one client that's been paying her like $12,000 a month for like 9 years.
Fuck.
Yeah, so she's just a very good salesperson and very good at retaining. So she just needs like literal leads so that she can just hop on these sales calls, sell more people. And then she just hires like her husband. She hires her friend. She hires like some other guy, and then she's like, hey, can you just do this work? And they're like, yeah. So like, yeah, I'll pay you $5,000 a month. And they're like, oh, that's good. You know what I mean? Like, it's quite funny, but like, she's legit, and I genuinely can help her if I can start generating these positive replies, which I'm see LGBT. See that?
Certified LGBT business enterprise. Nice. Okay.
I genuinely think that's probably a smart thing that she's done, because in America, those businesses, they can get grants. If you're black, if you're in the LGBT community, you can get specific grants. Free money. Here's 20 grand because you're LGBT freaking business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's saleswoman. She knows what she's doing.
No, she's legit. So I'm just, I'm still in the beginning, which is good. We're on this call right now, because after this, I'm going to launch a campaign for her next week. Test out 5 different, or like 6 to 7 different offers, the whole thing, you know what I mean? Get it going.
Yeah. What I want to do is just we'll get one bit of copy that is ready for campaigns live with you right now. So then you can take this bit away and basically use it as a bit of a backbone to restructure your other bits and bobs that you need to craft. So what are her best case studies? Do you know?
Her case studies on her website are so unspecific. They're like she doesn't have like, oh, we helped save them, 5 seconds on their website speed. They're so unspecific.
Okay, I think this has actually probably brought me to another thing that I should have mentioned earlier. When you onboard a new client, you need to make sure that you're sending them over an onboarding form so you can get all of this information. So you can get their case studies, you can get their ICP, you can get their pricing and risk reversals. So if I show you quickly my onboarding form, obviously this is specific to recruitment, but it's pretty universal in terms of what I'm actually asking them. So And then as well, do you set the clients up in any kind of workspace like this? So this is like what I set the clients up in.
No, I'm new. I'm I'm new. I've just been selling, like I said.
Okay, maybe we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves here, but what I'll do is I'll also send you over this template so you can use this Notion template. So I set them up with Notion, and I also set them up with a mini CRM in ClickUp, so we can actually track all of their leads that we generate for them. So here, like you can see, as soon as it comes through, it's just pinged into their ClickUp, so they have that as well.
Oh wow, you set them up with that for free?
Yeah, I mean it's free. I literally just add another list onto my ClickUp account and just put it in that way.
Gotcha.
So the onboarding form. So this is what I send them as soon as they sign on. This is an automated email that goes to them, gets them to fill this in, and then book a kickoff call with me. So describe your service offering in as much detail as possible. What outcome do you promise for your clients? Why does it matter to them? And can you make it tangible? What sets you apart from competitors? What different pain points does your offer eliminate for clients? What is your pricing structure? What guarantees do you offer? What is the ultimatum that clarifies your value proposition? What are your best case studies, testimonials, or results that you've achieved personally / as a business?
Mm-hmm.
And then the ICP section is pretty standard. So like job roles, industries, company sizes, locations, job titles that we should be targeting, goals, problems, and pain points of their ideal client, and then also companies that they want to avoid as well. So like industries they don't want to go after. So I'll send you over this template so you can have this. And all you need to do is just basically use like Typeform or something like that to get it over to them, and they can fill it in. Okay.
Yeah, sounds good. So you set them up a Notion dashboard, essentially.
Yeah, literally just a Notion dashboard like this, and then each of these sections here have different bits that is filled in specific to them. So they have the domains here, the mailboxes, their profile picture. To be honest with you, I set them up with a folder as well with all the leads, but it's just a nice to have. I don't really edit it too much. So like with the live campaigns, I never go in and update what's actually live because they don't care. They just want results. But yeah, it's nice to have just as a visual for sales calls and that sort of thing. But
I bet they do use the ClickUp though.
Oh yeah, for sure. So that with the ClickUp, for example, so this client's ClickUp, it tracks whether they've replied to the lead, and they can also initiate follow-ups within here as well. So if they select yes, this is view only access, so I can't do it, but they basically select yes, and then we send up to 4 follow-ups after the positive response. So if positive response comes through, they reply to them, and then the lead goes cold, they would initiate here, and then we take over from that point, and we send them and log the follow-ups in ClickUp.
Gotcha. Wow.
Are you handling replies, by the way?
No, I have them handle replies.
How do they do it? They have to log into instantly or what?
Yeah, they're logged into instantly.
Okay. So I don't want to throw too much like shit at you to
no, Harry, I mean, I'd be happy to do another call with you. I know we don't have, tons of time, but I'd be happy to, pay you for another call so we can get more in depth for sure.
Okay, for sure. But just to give you a bit of an insight of how I do because I make my clients handle the replies as well. I tried doing the approach where I handle the replies and book the appointments, but like that's ridiculous. It's almost as ridiculous as guaranteeing 15 calls or a refund. It doesn't work. So what we do is we set the clients up into a Slack channel like this.
Okay. That's what I used as well.
So when a positive reply comes through, it will be pushed into the Slack channel, and they have like a reply agent that pings them.
Right.
They would come in here and click respond, type their reply here, click send, and once they click send, it's sent from their main inbox. So then they handle the conversation from that point.
Wow. So you don't even have them in your instantly at all, or in there instantly at all?
No, the only thing they interact with is this Slack channel. We remove everything else from them.
Really?
Yeah. So like another one here, if I just show you.
Wow.
It all just comes in. They have their own like little reply agent, and yeah, this is their bread and butter. And then within here as well, they can go directly to their workspace, and they can go directly to their CRM as well.
Harry, this is incredible. Harry, I've had a bunch of calls now with different people that, you know, have been in the space longer, that are more successful, that are making money, and you are definitely like the best one that I've been talking to, or like the most thorough for sure. You know what I mean? I just wanted to give you that compliment because, and that's why I said I would definitely hop on another call with you, because there's another guy that I'd hop on another call with him, but he's not as like, he doesn't really know how to articulate how he does things. It's more like, so man, like, what's up? What do you need? You know what I mean? No, so I love it. I mean, at the end of the day, my goal is to not copy you and copy, like, do exactly what you're doing with recruiting, but like with this backend stuff, I'd love to like copy you and do what you're doing with this stuff, and then, you know, focus on a different niche or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Like this backend stuff that we have is it's been trial and error for
Yeah,
like
exactly.
the year, and this is like the most scalable way that I've thought of, and also the most valuable way. So we're giving them access to a Notion workspace, a ClickUp CRM, and a Slack channel. So they are like fully involved, and that also helps with retention as well. So you want to retain these guys. So when they feel involved and they have all of these like new tools and things, they will stay longer, rather than just saying, here's instantly, like, jump in there and reply. Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. 100. I mean, the other guy that I told you, like, that was pretty decent. He did the same thing with Slack. He would do the exact same thing, you know. But I think his Slack would bring, when he hit reply, it would bring them into the instantly inbox. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd love to pay you for another session and, you know, go through this, how I could build this for myself, you know, all this back end, so that I could just, because once I have the back end in place, then I could just start selling like crazy, and then onboarding clients, you know, and going, doing what I want to do.
Just going to bring you back so I can see you again. Yeah, I think what we do is, if we set up another one, we can get the back end set up. So in terms of the Slack channel and how that integration works, and then how it's sent from their inbox, the Notion workspace, the onboarding flows, all of like the scalable backend that you need, that I wish I had when I was in your position.
Yeah,
we can just get that cracked, and you'd have the templates, and all you'd do is copy and paste and change the API keys and shit. So
yeah, 100%. I mean, I'd love to pay you for another session and get that done, because that's, at the end of the day, why, you know, why I want to pay you, so I can not skip, because there is no skipping, you know what I mean? But like, front load those trial and error skills, because I've only been doing trial and error, as you can see, you know what I mean? And if you can find someone like yourself that has been through the trial and error, or has learned from someone else, and they have like that scalable system, and I can implement that and get going a little faster, that's super valuable. That's why I'm willing, you know, to pay you for it, for sure.
okay, cool. Yeah, for sure. I totally get that. Yeah, I just want to provide you as much as I can to put you in the best position that you can to scale, because right now, even the way that you're going about enriching, like downloading, uploading, downloading, that's something we need to correct straight away as well to scale. So obviously I don't have the exact blueprints for you there, but I think I've kind of shown you what needs to go on there. But then with all the other bits, yeah, for sure, I can help you out. But obviously, I mean, there's like 10 minutes to left here.
Should we just copy for the last 10 minutes then? And then we can set another call if you you know, the time next week or something.
Yeah, definitely. Let's crack that copy. Cool. Yeah, because man, I really enjoy doing this coaching thing. It's something that I'm seriously considering maybe launching my own like community. So like I told you, it's a thing that I like doing. I much prefer it to what I'm doing now, which is strange because what I'm doing now makes a lot more money. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I told you I was in sales before this, and then I transitioned to being a sales trainer, and I loved being a sales trainer because you help other people succeed. You know what I mean? You help people increase their skills, which feels really good.
Yeah, it does. You're right. It feels fucking fantastic.
Because imagine I tell you in like 3 months, hey Harry, yeah, I'm making 10K. I'm making 15K now, and you're like, yo, I helped them do that. You know
Yeah, man.
mean?
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I look forward to that day when I get that message because
it will.
As long as you keep going at the rate you're going, it will happen. Okay. But yeah. Okay. Let's get this coffee. So
Let's do it.
the case studies. What have we got here? I don't even know who the big names are here, though. So this is the problem.
I would go to portfolio. Here, I can.
Okay, do you know, what we'll do is we'll create a template. We won't make it so specific to her. I'll give you a template. Okay. Offer case study. So with the case study, let's start here. Let's go I. So do you see what I'm doing there? Obviously, the revenue is interchangeable for time, but you want to keep this to time or money. So and then you want to name drop a company, and then you want to also give a time frame. So that's the structure of the case study. Risk reversal. Does she offer refunds or anything like that? Do you know?
She's willing to do anything in her copy just to get on the phone, because once she's on the phone, as you know, it's a completely different story.
Okay.
Because I told her in my copy, you don't even have to pay until I get you the first booked meeting. And then she paid me anyway, even though that was in my copy. You know what I mean? Because that was just how I sold her. So she's down to do anything that like works. You know what I mean? Like she's an awesome client, but I just need to make sure I fulfill for her.
Okay, so I mean, in this risk reversal, we're going to be going with like a full refund, then like a really bold risk reversal. So something along the lines of a full refund there. And then this call to action. I think you had quite a nice call to action, actually. Yeah. Something along. I like this one.
Well, you like soft call to actions?
Yeah. For the initial email anyway. Email 2 and 3. That's when you can start to say, like, is this worth? So let me just
15-minute call.
Yeah. Is this worth a 15-minute call? Would this be worth jumping on a call? So soft call to action. Would you like me to send you an example of what that looks like? I would shorten that and say, can I send an example? Something like this. And the offer, let's stick to her technical assessments offer. We do short technical assessments for marketing teams. Okay. We do.
Hey, what is it? Congrats, offer, risk reversal, CTA?
Yeah, congrats, offer, risk reversal. No, sorry, no, my bad. Congrats, offer, case study, risk reversal CTA. Let me write that up here. Okay, so that's your structure.
Gotcha.
Okay, so
and then you would say for launching the campaign on Monday, scrape 5,000 leads for her ICP, write 6 or 7 following the structure, but try and make them like vastly different. Should I make them the same offer, the technical assessment, or should I try and find, make 2 technical assessment, 2 like SEO, 2 automation?
Because she's got a lot of offers, what you would do between each variable is you would keep everything the same in terms of the case study, risk reversal, and the call to action. You would just change the offer. The offer is the variable bit that you want to be changing.
Gotcha.
Okay. And then, yeah, I mean, it sounds like she's got, I don't know, 4 or 5 offers. So that should be enough for you initially to get a sense of what offer actually performs the best. And then after that point, so let's put it here. So you're going to split test the offers. Then what you're going to do, you are going to find the winner. Find the winner. And then you're going to split test the winner. And then you're going to scale the winner from the winner. But the thing is here, with when you find the winner, there may be 2, and that's fine. So then you just have to split test 2 winners. Okay, so this is the approach that you're going to be taking. And like I say, you're only going to be changing the offer. The rest of it is going to stay the same. If it's relevant, of course, like the case study, if it's relevant to that offer, for example. But the offer is the key change here, okay?
I got you. And then the case study, if it's relevant.
Yeah.
Let me just ask you this. I know we have a minute left, and I want to stick to the time, I'd love to schedule another one of these next week, if you have time next week. Go over the back end like we said. But in the meantime, before that meeting, could I do this, prepare that campaign for next week, and then send you like just a Google Doc with what my copy is going to look like for those 6 or 7, and then like kind of just an idea of how I was going to run it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I can get some feedback.
Yeah, get it cracked, send it to me, and I'll review it.
Yeah, give me some feedback, whatever it is. And then, yeah, when you're free, I'd love to schedule that next call.
Okay, let me just double check up here right now.
I'm willing. Sorry, I'm willing to do like several calls with you. Like 3, 4, whatever it is. I don't mind.
Okay. Monday, Tuesday's rammed for me. I can do Wednesday. I think it looks like.
Okay.
I can do Wednesday 4 p.m. How's that?
Yeah, let's do it. 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 4 p.m. you.
So that'll be 4 p.m. My time, London.
Okay,
so
that's fine. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, cool. 4 p.m. next week. All right, wicked, man. I'll get that scheduled in. And yeah, in the meantime, what you need to do is obviously get the copy together.
Yep.
And if you can as well, get that N8N automation that does all of this enrichment for you. Try and get that done as quickly as you can. So then we can like just focus on scalability, because as soon as we have the systems in place, Slack and all that stuff, that is quickly going to become a big problem if you have to keep doing that shit all the time. Okay.
Gotcha. All right. 100%. All right. I'll send that to you like today.
Okay. Nice one.
All right. Well, it'll probably be tomorrow for you. I know it's getting late. But thank you so much, Harry. I really appreciate it. Send me the payment link, whatever it is. I'll fill it out. you paid, and then same thing Wednesday.
All right, awesome, man. I send you on school, but look, I appreciate your time. It's been good. I look forward to just fucking scaling this business for you. Okay.
Yeah, help me out. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, man. See you later. Have a good one.
See you
Bye.
later.